I were in my 20s with zero investments, this is the first thing I would do. Number one, I'm opening a brokerage account. You can do this anywhere you want. This is just one example. I'm going to go to a brokerage like Charles Schwab or Fidelity, and I'm going to go all the way over here where it says open an account. And it'll give you all these options for accounts. But since you're 20 and you're planning for retirement, you want a Roth IRA. And it's incredibly important to remember that a Roth IRA isn't the investment, it is just the account. I've had so many people over the years DM me and say, hey, I opened the Roth IRA, I put the money into it. It never grew, it's just sitting at the same amount. What's the deal? And I say to them, what do you invest in? And they say, I invested in the Roth IRA. Oh. You can pause the screen here to read a little bit more about the benefits of a Roth IRA. And once you've funded it, you then have to pick investments that go inside of it. And I really believe that the foundation of any retirement or investing account should be an S&P 500 index fund. This is the one that I own. And you can see in the last 10 years that it's up almost 150%. The expense ratio or the fees are incredibly low, and it even pays a little dividend. Do you agree, Robin? Hello. And these are their top 10 holdings. You probably recognize a lot of these companies. And it has an average rate of return of around almost 12%. Let's knock off a couple points for inflation, so we'll make it an average return rate of 9%. And let's say you invested $250 a month into that fund for 40 years. This is how much you would have in retirement, $1 million. If you can't afford $250, just start. If you can afford to invest more, do it. And over the years, you might make more money through your job, you can invest more, and maybe even retire earlier. And that S&P 500 index fund is just your foundation. You can build upon that, like by putting some money in some of these ETFs. Maybe you want a dividend ETF that's only up 100% in the last 10 years, but it does pay almost 4%. They've also got 11 years of dividend growth, and this is how much their dividend has gone up in the last 5 years alone. You might also consider something like VGT, especially if you're young. It focuses more on tech stocks, and in the last 10 years, it's up 400%. And 99% of their holdings are in technology stocks. And these are their top 10 holdings. And last but not least, to give you some exposure to real estate, you might consider a real estate investment trust, which isn't up a lot in the last 10 years. However, it pays a great dividend and it pays monthly. And once you've built that solid foundation and portfolio, you can then branch out into individual stocks if you want. Just focus on getting that foundation first. Oh, and by the way, the max contribution for a Roth IRA is $6,500 per year. If you're able to invest more than that, you might consider opening a second account, an individual account. Yes, you'll be taxed on that income, but what are you going to do? And that's exactly what I would do if